Should the federal government do something for businesses not able to meet the CEBA deadline?
Yeah, sure.
What should they do?
I mean, they gave it for free at that time. They should have thought about it before, right? Instead of so many businesses closing now, it's not fair now. Yeah, that's what I think. I'm not a business owner myself, but that's what I think.
Well, I think they've accommodated as far as they could go, really. So I would say no at this point. I think the businesses knew that it was coming, and it is what it is. Yeah.
Prolong the amount that they need to pay back over time instead of being like right now, because lots of small businesses are still struggling from COVID, and a lot of businesses are still seeing repercussions of people not wanting to spend money and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Like what?
Well, I think they should give them some time to pay it back because the businesses were really slow. And it's taking some time to get back up on their feet. We really lost a lot of businesses during that time, during COVID time. That it was good that the government came up, but maybe they could have extended those loan times. Okay?
Well, I guess my view is the federal government has done plenty for business. And small provincial governments have very low small business rates. I just don't think, I mean, if we believe in capitalism and free enterprise, then they've had plenty of time to repay, and if they don't make it, they don't make it. I guess I'm a bit of a hawk on that. You know, the public purse needs to be protected as well.
I think it's worth trying to mediate a compromise of some sort because we've seen it here locally in Edmonton. So many, particularly service industries, they just can't manage and they're shutting, which isn't helping the economy anyway. I think the government was very generous and very smart about what they did, but I would hate to see the whole thing end up failing because of a lack of ability to try and ameliorate the situation. So I'd like to see something at least tried, some negotiations.
Should they do something for them? Maybe give them an extension. That would be it. But I mean, a loan is a loan. Whether you take a personal loan or a business loan, you got to pay it back at the due date. So that's my opinion.
I think the government should just take a loss on it. And, they gave out CERB to every one of us that needed it. I didn't, fortunately, but they did and just gave it away. So I think we should move on.
Yeah, they got to compensate in some way and help them out. Small businesses, everybody's struggling. They did a lot, gave them a lot, gave them time, but not everybody covers at the same time, the same way. So it makes it difficult. But I think they can look what they're doing for other people, other groups. They're giving them some leeway. They can give these people some leeway too. I think they deserve it. Absolutely.
Yes, they should. They should extend the deadline. Because the small businesses during the pandemic, many of them went under. The ones who survived probably survived because of that help, and most of them are still in recovery phase at this point.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
What should they do? What do you think?
I think they should not forgive it, but they should certainly extend it. Yeah. Pandemic was tough for everybody.
Yeah. You think that continues, right? So.
Well, I think the effects of it would continue. Yeah, I think if you've suffered for a year or more with a hit to your business, then it does make sense that you might need a bit more time to pay it off. Yeah.
Anything to add, man?
No, I'd say just work with small businesses instead of against them. Keep them going.
I think it would be circumstantial. So in some instances, yes. In some instances, no. But in general, you want to keep businesses going, especially with interest rates and inflation being what it is. So you don't want to stifle commerce. But nonetheless, if those are Canadian taxpayers' dollars, so we do want to see those back in the coffer at some point.
Businesses definitely needed the support during COVID, and then they're still kind of digging themselves out of that. Like it hasn't been that long really, so some kind of a payment plan, not just like pay it all now or you owe us tons of money. Like that's just going to bury them even further.
Well, I think it is reasonable that the government has set a deadline and that there is time to repay over a number of years, as I understand it. So I do agree that at some point the pandemic relief has to wind down, and I think the government's approach is reasonable in this instance.
They should absolutely extend it. Our community is founded off of these local mom and pop businesses. If they go away, what do we have? Just these giant corporate chains that aren't part of the community, and that it's not right. They absolutely should get an extension on their loans.
The problem is I'm going to give you a nuanced answer, which maybe isn't what you're looking for, but it is difficult. I think sometimes with a loan like that, where maybe they didn't know what was going in on the front end, there could be some flexibility on the end of the loan, so maybe giving a little bit more time. But the money does need to be paid back because that money is owed, but perhaps time is a way to create leniency.